Detective Wallace has been getting some serious attention lately, and not always the good kind. And if you've been keeping up with Dexter Resurrection, you've probably seen it too. Now, I've seen it all over my Discord server or even scattered across YouTube comment sections of Resurrection breakdowns, and fans are starting to get a little annoyed of this character. And the number one complaint that everyone has of her, it's the headphones. Like every single time Claudette locks in on a case, she puts on her headphones and then music starts blaring. Every time, I am not exaggerating whatsoever. And at first, I thought this was just going to be a one-time scene in the first episode when we were first introduced to her, like a way to make her stand out from the other detectives, I guess. But then I started to wonder, what if there's more to this? What if there's more to this character? Like, what if Detective Wallace isn't just a good detective, but something far more complex, like maybe the secret twin of the Gemini Killer? Now, before you say I'm reaching, hear me out. In my last video, I talked all about the Gemini Killer, played by David Dastmalchian. I broke down this article right here where he teased that his character would have a quote-unquote secret power that would make Dexter's life very difficult. And I'm not just saying this either. Here's proof on the screen right now. These are words from David Dastmalchian himself, not mine. And the top theory that came out of my comments section for that secret power was that he has a twin. And over again, people said the same thing. The Gemini Killer's secret power is probably a twin brother or a sister. And when you think about it, it almost fits too well. The name Gemini is already suspicious. If we search up the word Gemini definition, we're brung with this. In Latin, Gemini means twins, which is a symbol of the zodiac sign and the name of the constellation. Now add that to the fact that Claudette and the Gemini Killer actually share some similarities. First of all, they have the same skin complexion, same color hair, and enough resemblance that could actually possibly pass them as actual siblings. Or should I say fraternal twins. And that's the key. Fraternal twins don't exactly look alike. Male and female twins can actually have very different facial features, but still be twins, created in the same womb. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And we can even take it a step further with this theory. Claudette is a solid detective, and she's actually pretty smart from what the show has shown us, and she's often the first to identify any clues in the show, which is kind of ridiculous, but and she was also the one piecing things together in the hotel murder and noticed things that others didn't, which is smart. But what if her skills don't just come from training or instinct? Think about it. Like, if you had a twin who turned out to be a serial killer and you felt loyal to them or even responsible for them, wouldn't you try to keep tabs on the investigation, maybe even influence it? Not to stop them, but to protect them. The same thing we've seen with Dexter and Brian. How Brian kept tabs on Dexter and vice versa. But I mean, they're not, twins or anything, but still, they're siblings. And this would also explain why she works so well alone. As we all know, the headphones, they could potentially be more than just, her quirky habit that the show gave her. Maybe they're a way of shutting out emotion, of getting her into her own headspace where she can balance both sides of her life. It also mirrors the same ritualistic behavior serial killers like the Gemini Killer tend to have. Now, Claudette's calm demeanor during the case scenes might not just be her being cold, it might be control. The same kind of self-control someone needs when they're hiding something huge. I mean, hey, wasn't Dexter literally a serial killer who worked for a police department helping solve cases while also killing people? I mean, it's kind of not too far-fetched. Now here's the big picture. What if the Gemini Killer and Claudette were both exposed to something traumatic early in life, like Dexter? Maybe a violent upbringing, or even a childhood crime they were both part of. One twin, Gemini, goes down the path of destruction, and the other, Claudette, chooses law enforcement not to just distance herself from her past, but to monitor it. Now, she could be trying to maintain balance in her own way, helping solve crimes by day while shielding her brother from the consequences at night. And this really wouldn't be out of character for the Dexter universe. Like, this show loves using family ties as emotional gut punches for the audience. Remember the Ice Truck Killer, or Trinity's Double Life, or even Harrison Morgan. If this theory turns out to be true, it would be right in line with what this franchise does best: exploring darkness hidden behind masks of normalcy. So if Claudette Wallace really is the Gemini Killer's fraternal twin, what's next? Maybe she's not even just protecting him, because honestly, she doesn't even have to be a serial killer. She could literally just be a twin that doesn't kill people but protects, Gareth. That would also make sense as well. But what if she's actively helping him, feeding him info from inside the department, or steering the investigation away from his trail and making sure Dexter doesn't get too close? Cause what else could the Gemini's power be that makes Dexter's life so hard? It would kind of make sense if he had someone in law enforcement that could help back him up. Now, it wouldn't really seem totally unbelievable that Claudette Wallace would fabricate some evidence for her brother, the Gemini Killer, so he can roam free and do what he does best, killing. Because I'm sure we can all remember when Dexter himself was law enforcement, a blood spatter analyst. He fabricated scenes for himself, not even for other people, for himself, so he could kill people. So it kind of makes sense that Claudette Wallace, if she was the Gemini Killer's twin, would fabricate evidence for her brother. Or it could just be more twisted. Maybe she's literally just a serial killer as well. Maybe the Gemini isn't one person, maybe it's just a two-person act. Because this theory isn't just that Claudette Wallace is a serial killer 100%. No, it can be either she is a serial killer or she is helping her serial killer twin, the Gemini Killer. And honestly, I would kind of go more towards that she's trying to help the Gemini Killer because that is her brother, and why would she not want to help her brother? Maybe she has a really deep connection with him, so maybe that's the reason, or maybe she is a serial killer. I don't know, it could be really either or it could just be both. Honestly, it could really just be both. But if I had to guess, I kind of would say that she is a serial killer and that she also is helping him at the same exact time. Now, I feel like this would be a crazy twist. Like, the Gemini Killer isn't a lone wolf, but part of a deadly duo. One killer is in the shadows and one is hiding in complete plain sight. And when Dexter finally pieces it together, it's going to shake everything he thought he knew. Now, I think this theory may have legs. Keyword is may. There's just too much that lines up for it to be a coincidence. Like, from the symbolism in the name Gemini to the similarities between Wallace and the Gemini Killer. And honestly, they kind of look like siblings. Like, is that just me? But what do you think? Is Claudette Wallace just a detective with a unique style with her headphones, or is she hiding something else? Maybe working with the Gemini Killer, or just a serial killer that's still working with the Gemini Killer. Drop your theories in the comments below, and if you want more Dexter Resurrection breakdowns and other theories like this one, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe. And also join the Discord. The link will be down in the description or in the pinned comment below.